Good afternoon, fourth grade. Today we're going to take some time to talk about your favorite topic, TDAs. Now, last year, since our year was cut short, you fourth graders were only here until March, I should say third grade last year. So, a lot of what I want to talk about with you today may sound familiar and it may not. So, just bear with me as I go over some of these things. I'm going to try and break this down into a three-part series all about TDAs. The first thing I would like to do is talk to you all about what a TDA is. And for those of you parents that are confused by what a TDA is, hopefully after this explanation it will help you understand more about what we're doing. So in a moment I'll step out of the way. We'll talk a little bit about TDAs and what they are. And then we're going to talk about the actual question itself. And we're going to talk about deconstructing the TDA as we work through this. It's certainly a learning process for all of us, and I want you to remember that it's been a while since we've done them, so we're going to start out slow, and we're going to do the best we can. And if you have questions during the time, please feel free to email me or call parents if you need to. But we're going to start out slow, and I'll move out of the way here in a second and kind of give an explanation as to what we're doing. If you look on the board, I have written down TDA as an acronym. TDA stands for a text dependent analysis. In other words, it's a question that requires students to write an answer in essay format. The nice thing about a TDA, if there is anything nice about them, is that when you answer this question, you don't have to have prior knowledge of the topic prior to reading the passage. So really, if you knew how to answer a TDA correctly, you could pretty much do any TDA that you wanted to, because all the information that you need will be found within the text itself. There's so much that goes into writing these TDAs, it's really going to take us a long time to do everything. So I wanted to at least start us off in that fashion. In a moment, I'm going to move over to the Elmo and talk to you a little bit about deconstructing a question and what that means. Last year, if you remember, we talked a lot about elements and what elements were. And we break that down into two categories. We break it down into nonfiction and fictional elements. And I will show you that here in a second as I move over to our other area here. All right. Let's get this organized here. So what we have here today is the actual TDA itself. And I apologize if you can't see this, but at least it gives me a little bit of a platform of what we're working with. Okay, so when we work on this TDA, we're going to read from a story titled The Little Red Hen. And in a little bit, that'll be part 2 of our series here. I'll read the question for you, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the 2 different charts we have here pertaining to the elements. So, the question is this. In the story, The Little Red Hen puts forth all the effort for making bread, while the other animals did not help at all. Write an essay analyzing how the red hen's actions support the theme that hard work leads to rewards. Use evidence from the passage to support your response. As you can see up here, I have 2 charts. The one on the left is the elements for fictional pieces. The one on the right, those are the elements for non-fictional pieces. Okay? Now, the first thing that we have to establish is whether or not the passage is fictional or non-fictional. And in this case, based on the title, now it doesn't always occur this way, but based on this title, and if we were to look at the actual passage, we would know that this is a fictional piece, okay? Once we have established that, we can kind of ignore this side of the chart because we know that we're going to want our elements to come from the opposite side. Okay, so I'll move out of the way again here. Let me kind of get this situated. Okay, so if we look at our elements to the left, we see a number of different things listed. We see theme, we see characters, setting, and plot. We see point of view, structure of poem, prose, and drama, use of words and phrases, including figurative language, and connection between texts. The easiest way for me to explain this to all of you, without you being here, is we want to look for two of these elements that are listed here within our question. Okay? And this is called deconstructing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here in a minute, and I want you just to think about this. Now, when we start these with the virtual students, you will have a copy of this so you can see what we're working on. But I'm going to stop here, and I want you to just think about what elements you're seeing from the chart that can be found within our question. And when I start the second part of our series here, I'm going to have some things highlighted, and I will relate those things to you. And then what we'll do after that is I will read the passage to you. So I'm going to stop there for now because I don't want to get too long-winded here, but I'm going to stop there for now. And in the next video, I'll come back and we'll talk more about our elements. See you soon.